What's going on, everybody? Brian Maxwell here. You may be familiar with who I am. You may have attended a sales training seminar of mine. You may have worked at one of the thousands of dealerships that I've done sales training for and with. Or maybe you just stumbled across this video on the feed and you have no idea who I am. Either which way, if you're in sales, this video is for you. Regardless of what industry, it's for you. And what I want to talk about is recently, I just got a phone call earlier today, actually, from a dealer group that works up under the Asbury Group umbrella. 19 dealerships, and they hired me to do a 90-day sales training campaign for them. Now, when I do those campaigns, I immediately send out surveys to find out what's going on, where they feel like they missed an opportunity, and where we want to get started looking at first. Out of the 19 stores, 17 of them sent back and said prospecting, generating business, and conversion rate on leads. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because that is very widespread. Let's face it, nobody likes prospecting. Well, let me say, most people are terrified of prospecting. And I work with dealerships that sell Ford all the way up to Lamborghini, vehicles that have vehicles as low as 10,000 or as high as 350,000. And we've worked with sales consultants in the business that are green peas that have been in it for 25 years. And regardless of how long or how short they've been in it, most they dread prospecting. As a matter of fact, 48% of salespeople never, ever follow up. And out of the ones that do follow up, they make 2 attempts, 2 contacts, when in truth, it takes 5 to 12 contacts to statistically close that deal. And a contact isn't just a phone call. A contact is a phone call. It's a text message. It could be a Facebook message. It could be a LinkedIn message. It could be an Instagram post. Whatever it is, today's prospecting has evolved. And too many businesses, especially automotive dealerships, only focus on the traditional method of phone call. When if your sales team at your business or at your dealership, if all of them do not have Facebook pages, dealership Facebook pages, that's not a very good thing. Because I'm sure they all, if not most of them, if not all, have Facebook accounts. And so they need dealership Facebook pages, LinkedIn Facebook pages, Instagram accounts specifically for the dealership. These things cost $0. And guess who are on them? People that buy product, people that drive vehicles. Okay, but let's talk about the more traditional method, which is making the phone call. The phone call is extremely terrifying for people. Why? Because they make a phone call, the person says, hey, get a real job, click, or just hangs up on them, and that crushes the ego. And anything that crushes the ego or hurts our confidence or our self-perception, we want to avoid it like the plague. So I want to share with you some things that you can do to be better prepared when you're making that call, to have more confidence. Number 1, sales managers, please stop just telling your sales team, make 30 follow-up calls today, make 30 follow-up calls today. Would you want 30 follow-up calls that are just hey, I called, left a voicemail, hey, I called today, can I be says that, you looking to buy today? No? Okay, boom, they made the phone call. Or would you rather for as many quality calls as they possibly can get out, and maybe you do put 15 on it, 20, whatever it is, but preaching quality over quantity. Now, here's where, from what I understand from the thousands of salespeople, tens of thousands of salespeople I work with, they were never given a structure. Before you make a phone call to any type of prospect, and it doesn't matter whether they've been in your business, at your dealership, done a demo drive or not, if they left and did not do business with you and went back into their everyday life, it is still a cold call. It's a little bit warmer than it would be if they had never come in or never solicited any information, but it's still cold. So you still prepare for it as if you have never talked to these people, meaning whatever information you have on them, meaning what the product was they were interested in, what was their reason for not buying, what was their reason for feeling like they were interested in the first place, whatever that is. Okay, so now you want to structure, why am I calling this person? What is it I hope to gain? Do I want to schedule an appointment with them over the phone or face-to-face? Do I want to get some information from them to help me put something together that will help them? Whatever your reason is, identify what is my purpose of this call. Number 2, make sure you get yourself mentally prepared. The mental mind state that you have when you go into making these calls, if you're making this call saying, I know nobody's going to answer the phone, guess what? Nobody's going to answer the phone. And even if they do, you have zero intentions on helping them make any buying decision because you've already checked out. You already not even expecting anybody to pick up the phone, so how can you possibly be prepared? Or you're extremely terrified, hoping that nobody answers the phone because you don't know what to say. Now, studies have already shown, and we tested this with over 350 sales consultants. We split them and they didn't even know what they were doing, but half had a negative mindset. We showed them some videos of some fighting things, and we talked to them about how hard it was to make phone calls. And in the other group, we showed them different examples of people that were successful making phone calls and really how it's done properly and how to structure your call. Would you know, obviously, the ones that went into it with a positive attitude had far greater success rates. Far greater success rates than the ones that went into it with negative intentions. The same exact client base, but the ones that had a positive mental attitude succeeded better. So what is your mind state when you're going to make that call? So once you identify what your purpose is, how is your mental check? You got to do a checkup from the neck up. Are you calling expecting this person not to be there? Are you calling expecting them not to buy from you? If that be the case, please never make that phone call. Give it to somebody else or go tell your manager, boss, I need some help. Right now, I'm in a mental funk and I'm not even expecting I'm going to close this deal, and I do not want to blow the money that this dealership is spending on getting leads. You have to get your mind right, okay? So whether that be taking deep breaths, whether you want to just have a positive thought, more than anything else, these people, you haven't done anything personal to these people, so you have no reason to be afraid. Sticks and stones, you remember hearing that? No need to be afraid, but make the phone call with the intention of saying, I am the best person that can help them. Anybody else they talk to may rip these people off and really be trying to hurt them. I genuinely want to do good. So they should be lucky. They should be happy that I'm going as hard as I can to do what I can to help them and earn their business. You got to see it like you're doing them a favor. It's so unfortunate when I go into a dealership and I speak with a GM and I speak to them about potentially coming in to work with their team. I've either secret shopped their store or had someone secret shop it, or we've trained some of their salespeople over at another store, or based on the numbers, the dealerships I'm working with in the area are just kicking their ass. So when I approach them and say, listen, I'm working with your competitor and such, and they have a competitive advantage, but this may make sense for you too. Oh, we do our own in-house. We don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. Next thing you know, when I'm back out there and I stop by again, I'm writing up a deal with their replacement. Why? Because the general manager is typically the last to know and the first to go. And it's so unfortunate. But it's because their team, 48% of their salespeople are not following up. The ones that do follow up only make 1 to 2 attempts when it takes 5 to 12 contacts before a person makes a buying decision. And a contact isn't just a phone call. It's a phone call. It's a text message. It's an email. It's a Facebook post. It's a LinkedIn like. Whatever it is, it's a touch. It's a touch. And studies have shown that the more frequent you touch them, and it doesn't have to be spread out. Managers are teaching salespeople to make follow-up calls 3 days later and a week later. No, MIT did a study that when you follow up with a prospect within the first hour, the odds of you closing goes up something like 238%, 247%. And that it goes to 500% when you follow up with this person within 60 seconds. So you may say, well, how do you follow up with somebody within 60 seconds? When they're sitting there in front of you, and you say, hey, listen, let me get your contact number. I'm going to text you some additional information that we have on this vehicle. Boom. Now they text you, they give you their number. Immediately just text them, hey, this is Brian. Just want to make sure you got my information. Something small like that, it shows speed, it shows efficiency, and it does it's subconscious on the mind of the buyer. And MIT, those guys are brilliant. And we use this. I use this regularly. Let it be known. It's just like right now. What I'm doing with this video, I'm prospecting. YouTube is a way to prospecting. I am cold prospecting. Some of you have never heard of me. Some have. Some have bought my product. Some have attended my training. Some have worked for companies that I work with. But you may have never heard of me before. And so me doing this video is sharing content with you to show you my area of expertise. Let's make no mistake, I want my training programs in your dealership. But today, if you hide your intent from customers, they'll see right through it. People respect knowing what your intentions are up front. So when you call, don't lollygag, don't play around, don't try to talk about the weather in the game. Get straight to it. What is your intention? How can you help me? What is my benefit? What is our next step? That's what you got to do. Your Facebook post, you should be sharing images. Whenever you have someone that comes into your dealership and they walk out without buying, shoot them a message on Facebook. Did you have any additional questions for me? You have their name. You know what they look like. Look them up. Send them a request. Even if you don't send them a request, send them a message. You have their email address. Send them a message. Thank you for the opportunity today. If there's any questions you have, you can send me an email back. My telephone number's in it. Whatever it is, you can email, you can text, you can phone call. You can social media. You can do a lot of different things to prospect. And guess what? The most important thing you have to do, you have to learn. You have to train. There's a lot of really great resources out there. As a matter of fact, I have a webinar going right now called How to Dominate at the Dealership. All you have to do is click the link included with this article and go register for it. We got some really great information. And if you're a dealership, again, I know that everything done in-house is great, and dealerships don't like spending money. But you know one fact I have for you? They're already losing the money. The money that they would invest in a company that does training, a company that has a track record, a company that really provides value, the money that they can use to invest in that, they're already losing it. And all of that money spent in advertising, they're getting the internet leads, they're getting the phone ups, they're getting the walk-ins, and yet the conversion rates are piss poor. Or they're paying out thousands of dollars every month in draws and in guarantees from employees that they will never recoup that back, but will tell someone that can help them get out of that slump. They can't afford it, they don't have time for it, and they don't need it. And like I say again, the last thing I want for any general manager or general sales manager is for me to come into your dealership and be writing up a campaign with your replacement. You're smart. The reason why you got to your position is because you know the importance of training and working hard. But guess what? Everybody ain't you. Matter of fact, you've seen many people on your path to where you are. And you know that the vast majority does not do what it takes on their own. And so if you're expecting everybody to be as motivated and as smart as you, it's not going to happen. And if you've worked hard to get to that spot, you need to work as hard, just as hard, if not more, to maintain it. And training is the key. And maybe, you don't have to work with me. That's fine. Of course, I would want you to at least consider it. But I'm the best in the business. You get high value for bang for your buck. But at least consider somebody. If you're a salesperson, whether you download my products, attend my trainings, or watch my webinars, at least find someone that's in the business that knows what they're doing that can help you get better. That's all I'm saying, all right? So when prospecting, utilize all your resources, even whether you're on social media or the phone. Have an intention. What is your purpose? Then what reason are you giving them for you calling? Then get their approval, get their okay if you're going to take up their time. And then move it forward and close that appointment, close that deal, close that next step, whatever it is. And you'll make more money. You'll have a lot more fun doing it. All right. Brian Maxwell here, signing out. Remember, register for the webinar. Check out some of the other articles and videos I have available online. Go to the website, spoar.us. Hit me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all those great things. Other than that, I look forward to seeing you at the top. Peace.